What's the error, though? It says SD card error. Formatting your card is the only way to fix it, but it will delete your media. I don't want to do that.
You probably need to upload your media and then delete it and then.
Oh, this is going to take forever.
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 Five.
Just joking, and you're not helping me.
What do you want me to do?
I'm like,
I don't know how to do that. I'd literally just kill you.
Podcast number 10.
we turned 10.
We have made it to number 10.
10th birthday.
We don't know. I mean, I think when we started this out, we were happy to get
second.
1 or 2 in the can.
Yeah.
Now we're working on number 10, which is
It's crazy.
pretty impressive.
It is very impressive.
Pretty impressive. And hopefully everything goes right and we can get this one out there.
Yeah.
So exciting. So,
You look
What's-
very excited.
well, I really want to get into this Casey's Pizza because if you think about the Casey's Pizza today, the cheesiness level, completely off the charts.
Yeah, and the greasiness level,
It's just.
completely off the charts.
So it requires a whole box of rags.
Yes.
20-ounce Dr. Peppers are back in stock at Casey's.
Yep. Back in stock at the West House.
That's the sound of deliciousness. That was a difficult word to say.
Uh,
Try it. Deliciousness.
Deliciousness. It sounds like a very Emily West word.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one.
It's going to be great. Number 10. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, what happened this week?
What happened? Okay, so we had our ROWVA.
Not to interrupt. When you do that, it sounds like you're going to tell a really interesting story. Okay, get this. Go.
Okay,
Basically,
well.
what you're saying is that I don't tell interesting stories. Wow. Okay, thanks, Hags.
Well, you have your moments.
So last week on Thursday, we had our open house
Yes.
that we've mentioned a few times.
Yes, it was very fun,
It was
very
entertaining.
entertaining. Yes.
So what did we do? We really didn't do a whole lot interactive-wise. What did we just kind of put stuff out for people to kind of
It's
take
like
a
a
peek
show
at?
and tell kind of thing. So we had our drag car out. A couple people got to start it, including my little cousins. We actually made it on the registered mail.
That's
that was
fun.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so you got them in the car on your lap, got to flip all the buttons, and while you're doing this random guy comes sweeping in and
Yeah, he had
They
a big
showed up
old
out of
like
nowhere, too.
necklace.
he just kind of like swooped in and
And he had a necklace that said press. So we gave
The
him a
big
thumbs
camera.
up, and we got on the registered mail.
we're gonna have to find that picture and put it on here.
I have
Haven't
that
seen it.
picture, yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
it was
pretty
cool.
And then we
So, yeah.
also started the 460 motor up.
Yes.
So excited about that. We got the
So
460 on the engine stand, right? And we kind of did that late in the week.
Yeah. So, I think we already talked about this on one of our,
We talked a little bit about it.
or maybe that was the one
Yeah,
that
on the kind of
junk.
the one that we'll see. Yep.
So, so I was like super excited about this. Like, this is the first thing that I've truly done, like, mechanic wise, So, like, that was really exciting for me. So, it was super
You
exciting.
were. So the main kind of holdup was getting it on the engine stand. We found a way to get the starter to work. And then once we had that, I was like, okay, we can get the radiator or the coolant lines on there.
At first,
That
he
was
told
a
me we
struggle
were just
bus.
gonna
Yes.
like turn it over, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, no, like it turns over. Now we gotta like go all in. Like it has to start.
Because we got the starter on,
Yeah.
and then we're like, okay, let's just bump it over to make sure the starter engages and make sure we don't have any interference issues. We bumped it over, and you're like, no, this has gotta happen.
Yeah, I was like,
So we
I'll
put-
run and go get gas.
We
I
put
don't care.
the teeniest bit of gas in the carburetor just to see if it had ignition, and like first crank over, boom, fired up,
Yeah.
and then shut off. So I was impressed that you guys got everything. Like you remember the day we were setting the distributor and the timing, and we had
Yeah.
to get all that stuff set up. So you guys
Yeah.
did a really good job if it did that just that easily.
Yeah, that was super exciting for me. And
So-
then at open house, we showed everybody.
Yeah.
I think we started it once or twice.
Well, once it had a heat soak issue just with the
Yeah.
headers that were on there. So when it would run, the headers would get so hot that it would interfere. That basically made the starter get so hot that it would just barely turn over. So
Yeah.
wasn't the best setup, but when it fired up and it ran, and we got it that day outside, and I think you guys have some videos of that
Yeah.
with it running outside, where we had to run it for 20 minutes to set the cam on it.
Did we even run it for 20 minutes?
Well, cumulatively, we did. We ran it really for two 10-minute segments. Because
Yeah.
the first time we ran it for 10 minutes and it got a little hot because it had air in the coolant.
Yeah.
So we shut it off, and I was actually talking to Mike Shepard about that, about how he said, I don't think I've ever had one of those sessions go correctly to where we could just do it for 20 minutes straight. He says they always kind of have to
Yeah.
work it up. So, but yeah, that was cool to have that engine out there. It sounded great, and I told you guys, it ran great for as low budget of build as that was, and some of the parts that were in there. The thing starts easily, runs perfect, right? Even though it was a little under carbureted.
Yeah, I was like explaining this to like my uncle and my dad. I said, well, we didn't take it apart. Like this was just in a box, all taken apart.
It was WDs.
The
so-
bolts were in a bag, all like not assorted or anything. They were just all dumped in a bag, and they were just kind of set on the table. And I'm like, all right, build it. I mean, not really.
Yeah,
but
you had no reference
yeah,
to what
we
it was
had
supposed
like
to look like.
nothing, and like especially like I didn't really even have a background in any of this. Like I knew like the stages of firing, and
Yeah.
that's about
Yep.
it. But I've never like done it.
Yeah.
So I was just like super cool, and they were just kind of looking at me like, okay, like what's the big deal? But they were proud of me, so
Yeah,
proud of
it
us,
was-
I guess.
And I don't like just some of the other people that walked through. I think when we told them, well, that was the girl's engine, like you could see any woman that I talked to,
Mm-hmm. They
there was
were
a
like-
lot more pride in
Yeah,
that. They
yeah.
were just like, you bet, and they'd kind of elbow their husbands and say, yep, our girl did that.
Yeah, that was
So-
fun. Especially when we said it was like a group of girls. They're like, oh, that's cool.
And I mean, the cool thing for that was that you guys asked for that, right? It's not like I
Mm-hmm.
threw that on you. You guys said, no, we want to do our own. And you guys did a great job. And
Shout out to Shu.
she,
Made it all
she-
happen.
And yeah, she did that, and her, I guess, forcefulness or her assertiveness.
Yeah.
So Shu and Kabursky and
Us
you two
too.
got it done. So that was awesome. What else do we have? We had the kit car there. Some people getting eyes on the kit car for the first time,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool.
Yep.
And really, that was about it. Just people kind of walking through, seeing everything we've got.
Yeah, we had a slideshow of pictures.
Yeah, that was all
yeah.
Shepherd.
That was a lot of fun to look back.
Yeah.
Like even
Yes.
I was having fun with that, just looking back to see what we did in the past year.
Yep.
So, props to you.
You worked really hard on that because I couldn't do it.
I was kind of stressing out because I couldn't get some pictures in there, and I really wanted them in there. I got them.
We had music going on. Now, explain to me, what music did you do?
So at first we had 80s hits. So like,
But was it like Spotify?
yeah, Spotify in the back. So like, the music changed.
Whatever channel she had on there, my concern, and I expressed this to her at the beginning, before we got in there, it was playing the music so good that I was afraid that I was going to break
Gonna
out and
bust
dance.
dancing.
And that was,
Yeah.
I did a time or two throughout the night, but I tried to keep it somewhat muted.
I don't
because
think
the
I would
music
be
was just so
very
good.
surprised if that happened. Like the
Yeah.
amount of times he just does that in class.
Or then starts explaining how
Yeah.
inspirational the music is. Like
Absolutely.
Or,
none
like,
of us
if we
care.
don't know the person, he'll just flip out.
Well, I'm just
What?
surprised. I just,
Well,
it's-
then their
I s-
mom did this, and their dad did this, and he was on this, and that, and that, and this, and
I see it as a learning
Yeah.
opportunity, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about music is so powerful, right? Music is one of the few things that will take you back to a moment in time.
See?
You can
Literally, this is
almost
the
smell
spiel.
the smells of where you were at when you heard that
Smell
song.
Casey's pizza.
Oh my, see? This is why it's difficult. I will always love music.
I mean, me
Music
too,
is
but
an integral part of.
not as much as
Yeah,
you.
like I just love listening to music. I don't love doing research on
Well,
the
you
song
learn the
I'm listening
backstories.
to.
You learn the backstories.
But
of
like, I don't care.
well, you gotta care. Like it's important.
You gotta care.
Okay.
Guess not. All right. So open house is out of the way. For me, it was kind of a weight off the shoulders because we worked so hard to get everything clean
Yeah,
and get everything set
everything
up.
is like spotless. Like,
Yeah.
if we can't keep it like this, I will be upset.
Yeah, I mean, we worked so hard just in getting it clean. I think from here going forward, if you can't tell, there's a train outside.
Yep.
Train! You ever watch, what's the Honey Boo Boo? Train? No.
I literally wait.
Nope.
Honey Boo Boo? Nah, you don't want to watch it.
Yogi
Sorry.
Bear.
I used to.
No,
Okay.
no,
I-
that's
That's
a
Boo Boo.
cartoon.
Boo Boo.
I just
Honey
watched
Boo
that
Boo.
last
Boo Boo.
night.
Honey Boo Boo is on TLC, and that's I don't think it's on
Oh.
there. Yeah, like the younger girl. Yeah. Nah, anyway,
With the blonde curly hair.
man, we have taken an exit off of this conversation, haven't we? So we looked at it, getting everything clean and set up. I talked to Shu a little bit about this because she is pretty big on organization and cleaning.
Yeah, she's a
And-
clean freak.
Yeah, and so her thing is that she wanted to make sure that it stays that way, and that next year, when Shepard's gone and whoever's going to take her place takes her place. We haven't decided on that yet, and I can't imagine who could do that. We'll have to find somebody.
Somebody.
One of our goals is going to be to try to be a little more organized than we were this year, and like we always say, we're working our way in baby steps towards making everything a little bit more organized than it was the
We
year
might just
before.
have to get the boys and like have an
So-
intervention with them.
Yeah.
Put their tools
That's-
back where
yeah.
they
And
are.
we had a little discussion, and we were deciding that we might color code like the sockets to the
Yeah, that was a great idea.
toolboxes.
Toolboxes, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah, we had
that
a
was a
little bit
great
of
idea
work.
with the color coding and doing. We tried paint. I don't know that paint's gonna work, but
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work, but like, you can like fill the little indents in the wording on sockets and wrenches and whatnot, and with paint, so then it's like a
When
colored
it's-
lettering.
Yeah, and then when the paint is wet, you wipe it off, and then it's just left in the indent.
Yeah, but it didn't quite work.
No.
But
I think so. We started this year. I know you were gone like the first week of school, but one thing I wanted to kind of set the tone for, in especially next year when we come in, is that you guys have to kind of set the tone that hey, this is our shop. Don't screw it up. Did that just shut up?
no.
Is the battery dead? All right, where were we?
Technical difficulties.
Where were we even at?
I don't even know.
Oh, so you guys were gone the first part of school, and that was one thing that next year I hope that when we start school and we start class, that you guys can set the tone that
Put the hammer down.
yeah, like this is our lab, our shop. Don't screw it up. And when we talked about this too. When we do tool identification, is to make sure that part of that tool identification is knowing where the tool goes. Because you guys thought that maybe that was part of it, that some people use tools that they don't know where they go, so they just kind of leave them where they are.
Or like someone else goes and gets it, and then they just don't know where it went.
Yep.
Because that happens way too often.
Yeah, so if we can, I think that starts, it kind of sets the culture from the beginning of the year, so that's something we can certainly work on at the
See,
beginning of the
I
year.
was gonna do that, but then I was gone. for
Yeah,
a week.
I know, and that's why I kind of did that for you, but it didn't really have any
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah, because
Because,
we
like-
would have like
Yeah.
stared at them and said, if you don't
No,
do
I would have
this,
yelled at them. I would.
All right, so
yeah.
that's our goal, right? We're gonna take care of that at the beginning of next year, and hopefully, kind of end up the year the way we want to, and start the next one good,
Yeah.
right? Last thing in the open, Shepard, you need to remind us, what are we doing in May?
Battle of the high schools.
whoop, whoop.
What day and time is that? May 15th on a
Yep.
Sunday, right?
Yes.
Sunday, May 15th.
Yep.
All right, and we're taking the Camaro down there, and got some people taking their street cars down.
Hopefully.
Have a good time.
Yep.
The Camaro, we ordered a new drive shaft for it.
We did.
So I tried to call Sadler Powertrain up in Davenport to see if they could match the price of us ordering another one just to kind of keep it local, and they were way off. They couldn't do it. So we were able to call Pit Stop, have them send out a drive shaft that was 1.25 inches longer than the one we ordered before. So it'll bring the...
It doesn't seem like that much, but
It is.
It
We had
is.
2 inches of input shaft or input yoke
not
exposed.
inputted.
Yeah, not inputted. So hopefully that takes care of it. So we'll get that input shaft in, we'll get it painted up, get decals on it, and then we'll get everything switched over, get the yoke switched over, get the U-joints installed, and then that should be ready to go. We did test the line lock system on it.
Not only test.
And,
the line lock,
yeah.
Just like
Test the
did
line lock on
a
it.
few times we
Yeah.
tested it.
Yeah, we tested
Yeah.
the line lock the way you test the line lock. So it worked. And yeah, so we're good. So hopefully here in the next 2 or 3 weeks, everything's ready to go with the drag car and be running that down the track pretty soon.
Yes. Update time.
Yes, there we
Yes,
go. Okay.
update time.
All right, what are we doing in auto? What do we got going on?
Which one?
Let's go auto one. Let's start with auto one.
Differentials. They're going over rear ends.
So we're out of engines into differentials. Explain to me what a differential is. Class time.
The part in the middle of a
And
axle, and it has the gears in it.
it
You know what?
exports
You know what I
power
mean. It's
and,
just
and whatnot.
not good at explaining.
The
know what it is.
The rear axle of a rear wheel drive car.
Yeah, but it's a
Yes.
lot more complicated than
Yeah,
that.
It is.
yeah.
It is.
was like-
So
See, he makes it sound so simple, and I'm like,
well, maybe you're overcomplicating it. So we started the rear differentials, and we're actually waiting to get the differentials into where you guys can disassemble them. We've got yours, but we don't have everybody else's.
Yeah, it's just been sitting
Which
front of the classroom.
Yeah, so it makes it complicated because a lot of the stuff we're learning on the screen, it's if you don't have it in front of you to actually see how it operates, it makes it a little more confusing.
hey,
Yeah.
I'm kind of
So-
working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, spraying
Trying to-
WD-40 on the
Every
bolts,
day.
trying to make a.
So the rear end you
rust
guys have
fall off
is
a
out of
little
the
bit.
69 Ranchero, and it is very well rusted.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some fasteners breaking when we disassemble that one.
That's great.
Good.
So that takes care of auto. You guys are still doing your ASEG A0 tests right now, right?
Yeah.
And you're loving them. Are they getting easier?
Yeah, they
Yes. Yeah.
are. They're getting easier, just scores are not getting better.
I disagree with that. They are getting better. They are.
By like what? 0.5%?
Oh, positive. Positive Polly over there. Positive Polly.
That's
Polly want a
me.
cracker.
Yeah. All right, so auto one. Intro to auto. They started
Tires.
tires and suspension, right? We did a little activity. It was a fun activity. Got us out of the shop.
Yeah. What was
that?
that?
I
I was
didn't get to hear
hyper
Yes,
yesterday.
exactly.
And I was like running up and down the parking lot, talking to everybody, trying to find their tire sizes. And
Yeah. So we
yeah.
learned,
You
yes.
went out to the parking lot and looked at other people's tire
Ironically,
sizes.
we got tire sizes off of your truck.
your truck.
There's a picture on Twitter of
Olivia Hopping.
Olivia Hopping doing tire information off of your truck.
Wow.
So you're gonna be famous.
I'm gonna be famous.
You're gonna be famous. So they're learning about tires. The exercise they did yesterday, they had to go out and find all the information on the tire from the manufacturer, the brand, the load rating, the temperature rating, size, and all that good stuff. So they're learning about tires, suspension, and steering. So over the next week, they're gonna go out and actually identify steering, suspension components, and then they're gonna participate in mounting, dismounting, and mounting a tire, and balancing a tire.
Are you gonna do like that one race, or is that just for auto?
Are they going to learn
That's
how to
just for
balance a tire?
So they're not really going to learn how to do it because that's more of what they call a consumer class. So they'll just see how it's done.
Right.
And then really that will come more in auto one. So you guys will do that more towards the end of the year when you guys go out and actually all get to dismount tires. So
See, I just learned how to use that balance.
Yeah, because a lot of that stuff, you kind of arrived, or that tire machine arrived between your classes. So
Yeah.
your advanced auto class was full on the kit car. And
I'm
we
pretty
really didn't do
sure
anything with
her
tires.
brother, Dylan.
Dylan was good
used
at
it,
it.
yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's good of a lot of things
Yep.
in that shop. Nowhere
Yep.
else.
But I guarantee you, there's
So
one thing you're
mean.
better at, and that is installing valve springs.
Yes,
You are
I
the
am
valve spring master.
pro.
Have you even seen Dylan
The
do it?
I
valve
can't say
spring
that.
master of ROWVA Automotive. I might even make you a little plaque to go on our walls.
You better on my license plate. Just put it
Yeah,
underneath.
that's it.
Like
What do I get on mine? Just K Shepherd.
Positive attitude. Positive attitude
that's a
award.
funny joke.
That's me.
Okay, so intro to autos, doing tires and suspension. The 8th graders or the junior high, they're actually getting into the go-karts. So they've done all the stuff on internal combustion engines. This week's marks the first time they actually get their hands on the go-karts. So they're super excited about that.
I thought they already like started taking them apart. Kind
No,
of.
so they've been working on all what they would call theory of internal combustion engines, 2-stroke engines, 4-stroke engines, stuff like that. So they just started the axle installation this week.
Gotcha.
So it's
That's
about where we're
exciting.
at. What else is going on in the shop? We did some work this week, actually. Out in
The
the shop.
trailer.
We've done lots of work on our trailer.
Yes, we
There's
got it painted.
Primed it, painted it.
lights, Got
New-
the
new
winch
lights
box
going on.
in,
Winch box. There's lots of stuff going on. Those guys have been
Decals.
working hard.
and
The
then,
decals we've got to get redone because the decals.
Well,
are
yeah, they were
yeah.
bad,
Version
yeah,
1
but-
did not work.
No.
I think that it was good in theory, but when we actually went to pull everything off, it didn't look as good as we wanted it
Your
to
side
look.
looked a lot better than ours. I don't know. Maybe it was just me taking the.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, it looks a lot better. It's on its way. Really, the last thing we need to do, get everything buttoned up, is the wheels, and there's still some debate over the wheels. So maybe you could give us what should we do
Debate?
with the wheels? We need to either repaint them or go with a different color on the wheels. Right now, they're the white wagon wheels.
I think you should do black.
You want black on black?
Yeah.
Can I throw my 2 cents in? Especially since I just ordered a whole bunch of powder coat in this color.
Brown? Let's do brown.
Oh my goodness.
You
How about
did
brown
brown.
wheels?
Brown?
Brown has never come out of my mouth. Why are you yelling me
Just
about
like
brown?
whenever he puts his input in with colors, brown.
Wait, so what color
Let's do
did you just
brown.
order?
I ordered
Silver.
2 pounds of gunmetal gray.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah,
Powder
that's
coating.
fine with me.
I like
Yeah.
it.
So
I
they're going to
don't-
be like a gray metal metallic.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
But like a
I don't-
darker-
I don't
Darker
think,
gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't really like black because there's a lot of black.
Yeah.
and it's-
So we're doing that. And then actually Steck came up with a good idea. He wanted to rhino line the back edge of the trailer where the ramps hook on, because his thought was, well, when we put the ramps on, it's going to scrape the paint right off. So let's do something a little tougher. So we got the rhino line out. We had it out anyway. We were doing the inside of the fender wells and stuff with rhino line. It looks really good. He did a great job on it.
Good job, Stick.
And so I let him do the back, and we just kind of like, well, what if we do that back kind of dovetail section with the rhino line? So we did that whole section, kind of that ramp up onto the trailer. The wood on the trailer itself is going to get a deck coating, so it'll look more like cedar. So it'll look like refinished
Are you putting
wood,
new
so.
boards on it?
We're going to put a couple new boards on it.
Okay.
Not all of them, because they're still good. There was one that was broke in the middle that we had to do.
Yeah.
But other than that, the trailer is looking top-notch professional. We're also going to get some reflective tape to go on the side, that red and white reflective tape, so you can see it from the side. It's got all new lights on it, so it's got new running lights, LED running lights, and it's got also work lights on it. So 2 on the back that you can flip on to,
Light bar. in
yep,
the
it's got a
front.
light bar on the front that lights the whole deck, and then it's got 2 lights that point towards the back of the truck so you can hook up. It's pretty fancy. Like, it's
Yeah.
nice.
Pretty
Yeah.
fancy.
And bonus, it just got titled.
Yeah.
So
I need to bring you that thing.
We finally got license plates. The office just let me know that there's actually license plates ready for it now.
Whoop, whoop.
So, yep, so lots of work on that. Customer work. We put tires on Mr. Roberts' CRV.
Yeah.
So that was Gerard, Steck, and our own Katie Shepard.
Good
She
job.
got to balance tires.
Whoop,
Yeah.
whoop.
And I will say, West, imagine this. So I always give you guys a hard time sometimes for maybe not moving as quickly, as efficiently as you could.
Mm-hmm.
Those 3 did that job in less than an hour.
It was so
It was
fast.
so
it was
fast.
so
With
efficient.
tires?
I was like,
With tires.
In the tire machine.
Yes.
Normally that thing is
Usually
like an
Connor's-
all-day thing.
Yeah,
getting
and
in a
normally
fight
there's,
with the
there's a
machine,
lot of
but-
bickering back and forth. There's a lot of I can't get the machine to work, and that, for whatever reason, was you nailed them. I mean, it was
Like,
awesome.
Them 3 together.
Those 3 together, they worked great. Didn't hear any complaining. Just everything in and out. And we even got the tire light reset. Got everything. They had it done before I had the stuff in the Techmetric
I wouldn't say
online.
there's no
So,
complaining because there was.
I didn't
some,
hear
but,
any, though.
Yeah,
I didn't hear
Yeah,
it.
it wasn't
So
as
you
loud
guys-
as usual.
You guys did great with that. We did oil change, a couple of oil changes.
Yep.
Pretty straightforward. And
Brakes. Did we talk about brakes?
we did brakes on, I think, Jack Godsell's. Wave your hands.
Okay.
Every day. We did brakes on Jack Godsell's dad's Honda,
Yep.
which was kind of nice. That's something that Bird and Steck took care of.
Those brakes were the brake pads. Did you see them?
No.
They were really small. They were like
Tiny, right? Tiny car?
tiny car.
Tiny
brake
pads, tiny car?
pads. Yep.
Most of the time, the pads in the back of the car will be smaller. Do you know why that is? Teachable moment here.
Go for it. Teach us, teacher.
So when you're stopping, which way does the momentum keep going?
Forward.
Towards the front, right? So everything's gonna. If I've got my cowboy hat up on the
So
back
you need
shelf
more
of my
brakes-
truck,
so you need
and I
more-
hit the brakes real hard,
So
where's
you
that
need more
cowboy
brakes
hat
in
go?
the front.
Goes
Fly
right towards
forward.
the front. Goes towards the front. So everything goes forward. So that means the brakes in the front of the car are doing most of the stopping, right? So they're responsible for most of the stopping. They have to be larger. The ones in the rear don't do as much.
Those
so
are
they don't have to
tiny.
be as big.
Gotcha.
Larger the vehicle, larger the brake pads. That car is obviously a smaller vehicle.
Little
So,
guy.
yep. All right, so that takes care of the shop. Anything else going on out there?
Nope.
CNC machine. You guys cleaned the Tormac CNC up where we got
That's
it.
not what I was going to talk about.
For
Well,
the open house, yeah.
So for open house, we had to go through and totally revamp
was-
the CNC
There
machine
was
to Tormac.
a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
It
Lot of
was
nastiness there.
nasty.
Yeah, it was gross. So we got it set up. So now what are we doing on the CNC?
Making license
We're
plates.
making license plates for the wall. We're finally
Not
getting
metal
up
license
to.
plates.
No, we do the wood ones because they're kind of
Wooden.
cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of which, we have a new section on our wall
We
that
do.
eventually we will bring up, but you'll have to keep watching.
Yep.
To
So
find that
so
out.
if somebody came through the open house and actually paid attention to the wall, maybe they noticed it, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
we will see.
But those license plates are from the seniors who graduated last year. And then we're going to start making the ones for the seniors who are going to graduate this year.
Mm-hmm.
And put them all up on the wall. So everybody who graduates from from Auto 1, Auto 2 gets their license plate on the wall. And then I think they get the license plate to take home too. I don't know. I haven't decided if Shepherd's going to get one. Maybe if she improves her
Fine.
attitude.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Improve my attitude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, anything else going on in the shop we need to know about?
I put a cow in my car.
Yes, we did that, and I got to witness that.
We have a cow
Spectacular.
pasture in the back.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Instead of putting it on the dash, I put it in the back. That's better, isn't it?
Well, it's a step in the right direction. The next step is the garbage can. but-
So it didn't move.
Yeah, because the little command strips wouldn't stick to the dash. So I couldn't do that. So I just put the
Don't ever get on me about dad jokes.
Velcro
all right?
ones.
Oh, and we're getting
Hey,
fenced
by the way,
so the
did-
cow doesn't move.
We actually talked about this this
I
morning.
want right now.
We talked about this morning. Do you know where cows go on a Friday night?
To the movies.
Exactly. Exactly.
I got all the moo jokes.
we were talking about this morning over breakfast with my kids, and my wife asked them, where's the cow go Friday night? And Wyatt looks at her and says, the bar? And I thought he said barn, and I was like, well, that's pretty good. Barn,
No way. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's wrap this up. I gotta go see it.
I really
That
hope
was
the
something else
cameras depict
something
it.
else that happened in the shop. We had a bird come in the shop.
Yes. and
We had a
yes.
bird. So I'm in junior high. We're in junior high industrial arts. Trevor comes flying
Mind
into the
you,
room.
Wait,
Trevor
Bird.
Bird.
Yes, the irony did not follow me. I even told the kids that. So he comes flying in the room, completely just out of sorts, and he's like, "There's a bird in there. I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing everything I can. I don't know what else to do. I've thrown tape at it. Pretty sure I hit it in the head.
He
what
took
do you want
one
me
of
to
the
do?"
safety shields
Yeah.
and threw at it.
And so I'm like,
God,
okay,
stupid.
calm down. We'll get it. Go to the office. Tell the office what you got. See if they can send anybody to help. And so he leaves, and I look at the other kids, and I'm like, hey, I need to go get a picture of a bird trying to get a bird out of the room.
Yeah, it was so funny because Trevor kept sending me videos
Yep.
on Snapchat of him just chasing this bird around the room. Like, he was jumping on the tables, trying to shoo it away. It was the funniest
So
thing
once we had 2 people in there, I kind of brought everybody in there, and we were able to shoot out the door. But yeah, it was pretty hilarious. It was in there when I went in there. It was sitting right on my computer, just walking on my keyboard.
That's funny.
It went up in the trusses, and we finally got it back home. Man, it took
Yeah.
off towards the door
But if any of you
because it was
were-
over towards the wall with Maine, and we kind of shoot it out, and it came down, and it was flying, just went wham right into the window, and then down on the ground, and I'm like,
Well,
okay,
Trevor
scoot
said
him
it was
over.
attacking him.
Yeah, it was not. He was just,
Dive bombing.
Yeah, oh come on.
He said he was like sleeping.
The bird's got better things
And
to
it
do.
just got dive bombed.
Yeah, I imagine that.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, we got the bird out, but yeah, there was still.
If any of you were wondering why we were freaking out just a minute ago, it's because Connor came in here and goes, "There's a mouse in your desk."
There's
So
a mouse that lives in that room.
I'm screaming.
So far, I have learned to just cohabitat. What do you call it? Cohabitat with him. I mean,
Cohabit.
I don't bother him. He doesn't bother me. If he's up on my desk, we're gonna have to reestablish the rules.
Did you see? Did
So
you hear his
yeah, I don't know.
scream? It was so loud.
The fact that he was carrying a piece of metal channel. I don't.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
scary.
imagine things are gonna get
we ought to go
destroyed,
look
so.
to see what's happening.
But
All
we
right.
have.
So
one
let's take
more
a break.
segment.
Let's go. We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna go take a look and see what we're back.
Okay. We are back.
We're back.
They lost the mouse.
Could not find the mouse.
Yeah.
We did not find the mouse.
We
It was
did
a
not.
no-go.
It probably just crawled underneath the wall.
I imagine. He was in there
Yeah.
looking under a toolbox or something.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, next segment.
Question of the week.
Question of the week.
This is a great question. We got this on open house night.
Yeah, open house. So, I have a friend. Shout out to Ava.
I have a friend too. Her name's Ava.
We have a friend. She goes to Williamsfield, and she is a good listener. She loves watching the podcast. She listens to the podcast lots, all of them actually.
I was excited to meet her
And-
because she was like, "Oh, I watched the podcast." Like she was
Yeah.
a legitimate listener, which
Yeah.
is or a viewer, I guess, who knows.
Yeah.
Other than your dad, I don't know that I've met anybody that watches it on their own.
He
Yeah.
doesn't watch it on his own anymore.
Oh.
He misses the old videos.
Yes, hey, sidestep. That's what he told me too. He says, "I'm a fan of the old videos," and I'm like, "Well, thanks for watching." He goes, "No, the old videos." And I'm like, "Well, I have to put something like kind of forcefully, like, okay, I don't like this newfangled stuff. Go back to the old
Yeah,
ones."
exactly. And I'm
So-
like,
This is
Dad,
old
chill.
school.
All right. So what did Ava ask? What did she want to know?
She wanted to know, how long does it take to build an engine?
It's a good question.
What's your answer to that?
So I wanted to get your opinion of it.
Okay,
Because
so
keep in mind, you guys worked in probably half hour, 45-minute segments every other day.
So I think that it depends on your experience.
If you weren't, like, at 45 minutes, period.
Yeah,
Stuff.
it would probably take you a couple weeks or so, maybe
Few weeks.
A few weeks,
I think
If you're working on it every day.
and less experience than like an actual person that does that as a job.
so. I think if you set aside the machine work and everything where you kind of don't have control over that, the actual assembly time you guys have involved. If I put a short block and all of the parts out in front of you now, you could probably have it done. If you worked on it for a couple hours a day within 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, but with like small experience, I think it would take you a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, this was a learning experience because a lot of times I would have to explain stuff to you, or at least explain what we're doing. And sometimes when I get into explaining stuff, you either turn off and start looking at stars, or
I start listening for the first like half of it, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay, I
why is
get
there a
it.
white
Yep.
Move on.
dot on the wall.
Oh, I think the
Anyways.
time thing is a little. I think you guys over exaggerated. I would say like honestly, I've built engines in an afternoon.
Really?
Yeah, I mean if you got everything together. But with everything was disassembled, the heads and everything.
Well,
um,
yeah.
It takes a little bit more time. But I would say that I could disassemble that to the same state it was, and because you guys know what you're doing now, you could have it done within a week.
Yeah.
So that was a good question, though. Great question. Did she have fun? I know she was looking around and sitting in the drag car. And
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did. She said
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun because, like, their school doesn't do that type of shop work.
Yeah.
Like, their FFA does a ton of, like, woodworking
Yeah.
stuff. But they don't do any, like, mechanic, really. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that was something new for her.
cool beans. All right. Well, this has been a good one.
It has. Well,
Except the first
kind
half.
of.
But yeah, it's
Kind of
okay.
been all over the place, to be
Has
honest.
a little technical difficulties. We had this little
Lots.
camera that wasn't working,
Going to chase a mouse.
chasing a mouse.
Yeah, we had a mouse chase.
So, I don't know. We'll see. But number 10, I think went fairly smooth, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
we're going to have, like, little...
We're gonna put in little snippets of
Memories.
yeah. We're
Memories
gonna put in
of the
little snippets of our
podcast.
favorite parts of the podcast.
It's going to get a little sentimental.
Real quick before we go.
Put sad music over it.
Yeah, real quick before we go. Favorite moments of the podcast so far. What would be your favorite moments of the podcast so far?
I don't know. I think the mouse chase kind of just
that
topped
was
off
pretty
the
good.
whole just
No, I like
All of it.
arguments of the week.
Argument of the week.
yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
that when we talked about our favorite cars.
No,
Yeah.
that
Pretty
one was
good.
good.
That
I
was pretty
liked
good.
that
Yeah, that
one.
was a funny.
Here we go again.
So let's recap. Square body,
Square body,
some kind of Nova,
a Nova,
not too low,
not too low.
not silver, not black. Oh, black. Yes, black.
yes.
Green? Oh, green.
Yeah, what an option.
Green and black would be
Killer.
minty. And Camaro,
1980s. Here's my problem with
The
Camaros.
IROC.
We are kind of turning this into an argument. We're going to start an
Yeah.
argument.
Here we go.
So the argument is the Camaros of the 1980s got destroyed by the Mustangs of the 1980s. Like
I don't
destroyed.
care about Mustangs though.
We talked about you kept naming off just car
I
after
can't
car.
just
What do you
pick
want?
one.
Yeah.
I like the one we were talking about, my dad's truck, when he finally got it.
Yes.
And then you were
Yep.
check,
Yep.
check. That was
You were,
funny.
you were implying that your father purposely bought a vehicle that was your dream car just so you could not drive it.
Yes.
Yep.
Or
He
when
just taunted me with
when
it.
we were talking about Wyoming,
Yes.
and you're like,
Well, it's
Wyoming the
confusing
state.
me. I'm not. Yeah. We're doing
No,
this again.
Wyoming, little town, go.
Did that again, and then you're like, we're really doing this again.
Yeah.
Okay, Wyoming, small town, go on.
Yeah.
We have to like kick it back like all the way to like
Yeah.
the first one. Like what did we? Oh, when we had Shoe
Yes,
with
I was
us.
Yeah,
gonna say
it was
that's one of
my
my favorite
shoe.
moments.
My shoe.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we
The
found
plant
that
in it.
so funny.
I liked,
hilarious.
in some of the test, I would call them pilots, but the test shows that we did. That
Do you remember the
people
one in the
haven't even seen.
garage?
Yeah, the one out
Where
there.
like, or not in the garage, in the shop, where the water, you could hear it in the background.
Yep. Yeah, or you could hear the kids playing at
Yeah.
recess.
The music from Mrs.
Yeah.
Clark's PE.
And it was like freezing cold.
Yeah.
So we're all like.
But if you watch those from start to finish, from number 1 obviously to number 9, like we've come a long way. Like we've still got a
Yeah.
long ways to go, but I think they've improved a little bit. And
I just think
things
it's
are-
kind of crazy how like one day I just walked in the classroom and you guys already had it figured out, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
all figured
No,
out. and they're
honestly,
like,
I think
you're gonna
that's-
be in it. Okay.
I think that's
You're in
honestly my favorite part because we were talking about. I think it was a podcast with you because you said you
Yes,
had a mic
yeah.
to do the videos,
Yeah,
the old videos,
yeah.
and I was like, oh, like a podcast,
Yeah.
and then you're like, a podcast. All right, we're doing it,
Well,
and then we
trying
were
to-
just
yeah,
joking.
We were
you
trying
know?
to figure out a way to spice up the videos. a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, and then I was like, oh, like we were trying to figure out a name, and I was like, well, pizza, we have to
Gotta
do
have
something
pizza,
with that,
yep.
and I was like, slice from Automotive Life, and then after that, I was like, yeah, right, we're not actually doing it, and then
he told
he's
us
like,
to
all right,
start.
well, we bought microphones and
Yep.
we have cameras, so we're doing it, and I'm like,
the next week you're like,
What?
we need to repaint the room.
Yep. I know
We're
it
gonna
just
do videos.
snowballed
We
from
just
there.
gotta
Yeah,
repaint the
you
room.
gotta
And then
repaint
you're
the
like,
room.
what color? And then the next day you had the color, and I was like, I guess we're painting.
Painting? Yep. There
Yeah.
you go.
And then
So-
here we are.
It's been great. Well, we're going to keep them going. This is by no means the last one. We're just celebrating a mini milestone for us.
Yeah.
So
Next time it might
What
be
are you
like.
guys
10
gonna
shows.
do when I'm gone?
I don't even like to think about it. I don't even like to acknowledge it.
Do you think we'll get like up to 100 podcasts?
I would say
If you
math
keep,
off the top of my head, if we do one a week, we probably got 10 more this year. Maybe.
with
So
me
it's like
in it
20
or no?
in a year.
I don't know.
Probably without me. I probably
Yeah.
have like 5 more.
Yeah. We got to start doing senior highlights. So we're going to start highlighting all the
Yes.
seniors.
Yes. So we're gonna
So
have like a
we're gonna
lot
have
of
to do
guests.
one of these that's all about you.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to do Kaburski. We got to do Bird. We got to do Steck
And Gavin.
Gavin.
and Gavin Gerard.
Gerard.
So we got that to look forward to.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. We got a lot on our plate here, but we've made it to number 10. So congratulations, ladies.
Whoop, whoop.
I think I'm going to sit back with a slice of Casey's Pizza and a cold Dr. Pepper and celebrate.
Yeah.
But we do have to go find the mouse that's causing all the disturbance. So
Yes.
before we do that, what do we say?
Beep beep. Let's roll.
Let's go get this mouse. I mean,